And we have a very special guest, the man of the night, Mike Kostka. Mike, thanks so much for joining us. Matt Reiter as well joining us. We're somewhat excited to have him as always, but the man of the hour is here. We're going to talk to Mike Kostka right now. Mike, how cool is it to be back in Aurora? How cool is it that they're having Mike Kostka Night?
Yeah, it's been incredible. The team contacted me a few weeks ago and asked if I'd do it. Obviously, it's been a bit of a hectic schedule with Toronto, so trying to find time. We got back last night from Carolina, and we have a game tomorrow night, so a little bit of a break here, and I was excited to be able to come out.
You wore number 4 while you're with the Aurora Tigers. You now wear 53 with the Leafs. Is there any significance in and around 3, 4, and 5?
Well, 4 I wore for Bobby Orr back in the day, and then when I went to university, it was taken, so I ended up wearing another number. And then now at the Leafs, people have been asking me about it. My father was born in 53, and so he likes to think that that was the case. But since I was a rookie, they just gave me whatever number I think was left, and 53 was it. So I wasn't putting up too much of a fight.
The 04 RBC Cup championship team, what a team. 47 wins, 2 losses. What made that team so special?
They put together a great team. We had great coaches, and then obviously the players were great as well. We went on a heck of a run. It was something that, you know, I hold really dear to myself. It was a great experience. And yeah, I mean, top to bottom, the whole organization was unbelievable.
I have to ask, what went wrong in the 2 losses? Come on.
Newmarket, man.
They were both to the Newmarket Hurricanes.
Yeah,
Go figure. 47 wins, 2 losses, the Battle of Yonge Street.
Talking about, obviously, the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. When I was 10 years old, they were playing in the conference final against the Carolina Hurricanes. The day before Game 5, I ran into Travis Green at the mall, and I went up to him. I was 10 years old. I tugged on his shirt. I said, "Are you Travis Green?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "I just wanted to wish you good luck tomorrow night." You're that guy now. So many kids look up to you. You went to Sick Kids earlier on in the week. They must have been glowing when you showed up. How does it feel to be that guy?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. Obviously, kind of a surreal experience for me, having grown up a Leafs fan as well, and then now getting the opportunity to don the jersey and to be part of the organization. So, I mean, I know what it was like being at the other end of things, being that fan, knowing how important it is when, you know, I was going to autograph signings, you know, when I was a kid, and I knew how much that meant to me. So being able to come out here tonight, it's been really special, and obviously, yeah, for the kids, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I can say I've had about 10 kids come up and pull on my jacket and say, "Are you interviewing Mike Kostka in the first intermission?" They were so excited to see you, so that has to feel great. Let's talk about your run. It's been a wild ride. You come into Leafs camp this winter since the lockout was on. Do you think playing in the AHL earlier in the season really helped you going into that NHL camp?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a kind of bizarre year in that there was the lockout, the American League started, and the NHL didn't. So for all the guys that were playing, I think it gave us a bit of an edge. When NHL camp opened, we were all in mid-season form, and so getting that start and getting your skating legs under, you're not coming off of the summer. We jumped right into it, and it definitely prepared us for the start of camp.
I was watching an interview of yours earlier on. You're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays. And I think you're part of what I would like to call the Cinderella crew. A guy like R.A. Dickey who bounced around the majors for a while, Steve Delabar blowing out his arm. It took you a little bit longer to make the National Hockey League, now playing for your hometown Toronto Maple Leafs. How does it feel to be part of that crew and just be part of a feel-good story here in Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I became an R.A. Dickey fan just this past year. I saw this documentary about him and called Knuckleballer, about knuckleball pitchers, and then I became a fan of his, and then coincidentally he signed with Toronto. But those are stories that have obviously offered inspiration and motivation for me to continue with my battle and my journey and my career. So it's been fun. It's been a really fun journey, and it just keeps going.
Toronto Maple Leaf now, how has your life changed? I guess you probably get recognized a little more in the streets?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even had time to be in the streets, I don't think, with how busy the schedule's been. But yeah, you definitely get recognition. Like I said, it's a very surreal experience, and I've had tremendous support from my family and friends. A lot of people have reached out to me. That's been really, really cool to reconnect with some people that I haven't talked to or seen in a long time.
What was that first feeling like when you got recognized?
I don't know. It's really strange. I mean, it's not something that I don't think you ever really get used to, and especially it being so fresh right now. And with how chaotic the season's been, it's something that I haven't really had time to digest, so it's still kind of shocking.
Quick questions for you. It's been a short span, about a month and a bit since the season started, but so far, your favorite road arena in the NHL?
I'd say it's got to be a tie between Montreal and Winnipeg. Montreal was where I played my first game, and so obviously that's an experience and a memory that I'll have forever. We were in Winnipeg last week, and I mean, it was phenomenal.
How did that feel getting mentioned on Hockey Night in Canada, your first broadcast by Don Cherry?
I mean, obviously, I wasn't watching, so I didn't see it, but I was able to catch the feed afterwards. And I mean, you grow up watching that, right? You grow up being a kid watching Hockey Night in Canada, and Don and Ron there. And when I got the shout out, obviously, my phone blew up, and everyone's telling me all about it, so I had to go check it out. Again, a really surreal experience.
Well, I can tell you the past few Leafs broadcasts, they've been pumping this night, Aurora Tigers Mike Kostka Night. They've been dropping the word all over the broadcast. It's been really cool to see in anticipation of you coming back. A couple more quirky NHL questions. The toughest NHL player to defend so far? You've played a lot of great ones already.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, the line of Gaborik, Nash, and Richards, they did a number on us in New York a few weeks ago, so they were definitely, I think as a trio, the most dynamic I've gone up against. But obviously, being able to play against Sidney Crosby, Malkin, Ovechkin, all those guys, I mean, they're the real deal. Like, it's no joke. So, I mean, there's about one of those guys on every team at least. So it's been cool, and it's been a fun challenge to be able to go up against them.
There's at least one of those guys on every team. Who's the guy on your team in practice? Who do you find the hardest Maple Leaf to defend?
Yeah, I mean, Phil Kessel, he's so fast, and he's got a heck of a shot. I mean, really trying to gauge the speed that you're going against. I mean, he is one of the faster guys in the league, and when he gets going, it's tough to defend. So I don't shy away from it, but it's not the most exciting thing when I see him coming down on me.
Absolutely. On the road, Montreal, Buffalo, these are places where Leaf fans come in droves. You'll see Ottawa a week from tomorrow night. As a player on the ice, do you notice that, the Leafs Nation traveling crew, and does it help you guys with so many fans on the road?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Toronto, the fan base extends further than just here, and it is great. I mean, when we beat Montreal last Saturday, I think it was, the Go Leafs Go chant was going with about 5 minutes left, which is always nice to hear. Down in Buffalo, there's a tremendous support, but honestly, wherever you go, you see the blue and white jerseys, and I think that just goes to show you how storied the franchise is and how many great fans we really have.
What do you say to somebody who was in the same position that you were maybe 2-3 years ago, playing in the minors, not so sure if they were going to get to the National Hockey League? What advice do you have for them?
I would just say embrace the grind. I mean, it's always going to be a grind, and it's funny now, people like, you know, I get approached and they're like, oh, you've made it, like, congrats, like, and it's like, you did it. But I mean, just because I'm here now, it's probably the last time that I'm gonna even begin to become complacent. You know, it just continues, and it's never easy. You know, regardless of whether I'm here now, I have to continue to work hard to maintain. I mean, I was the guy that was nipping at other guys' heels trying to take their job, and now I've got everyone that's trying to do the same to me. So, I mean, it's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be ups and downs, but if you just embrace it for what it is and you work as hard as you can, I mean, that's all you can really control.
Randy Carlyle seems to be an incredibly intelligent coach. What is he like in the dressing room? Is he very much an X's and O guy, drawing up plays? Because we've heard rumors of things like he has set face-off plays, he might bark out from the bench. That might be a bit much. Is stuff like that true? What is he like?
Yeah, he's been incredible. He's a very smart man. He's got a great mind for the game. There are a lot of different plays that are drawn up that you have to make sure you're staying focused on and pay attention to, because he'll shout them out from the bench, and if you don't know what they are, it's pretty easy to get lost out there pretty quick. So no, he does have a lot of the X's and O's, but at the same time, he's a great speaker, and he can motivate as well.
If you don't know what the plays are being called from the bench, you might learn them, because you might be sitting on the bench and get a first-hand earshot of what he's yelling. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to Aurora. It's been a great night. You have so many people out here to see you. Tons of kids. You're doing a great job over in the corner. The lineup is around the building for autographs for Mike Kostka. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome back to Aurora.
I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun to come back, and thanks for having me on, guys.